What's going on, YouTube, man? Welcome back to another video. Now, before we jump into today's video, man, you should know what you should have been did. Like, comment, and subscribe. We trying to save the world. We trying to save as many people as we can. So make sure you hit that post notification bell so you don't get that post nut clarity, my guys. Now listen, man, I want y'all to know that whenever you feel like you're about to relapse, whenever you feel like you're about to go back to the sites, come back to this video. When you feel like you want to give in to the enemy's traps, when you want to give in to temptation, come back to this video. Remember, Javaughn said it here first. I noticed that a lot of people, you know, in the Discord especially, you know, a lot of people been relapsing lately. And I know we all fall short of the glory of God. I know temptation is at a rapid movement right now, currently. Right? I get that. But at a point, you have to hate the thought of you going back to the sites. You have to dislike that feeling. What I say in my intro, hit that subscribe button, hit that post notification bell so you don't get that post nut clarity. I don't just say that for any reason. I don't just say that for no reason, brothers. So we have to hate the thought of us relapsing our semen, brothers. We have to hate that thought. If it's not a real person in real life, then why are you doing it? You know, if you're not releasing to your wife, then why are you doing it? Why do you feel the need to go back to the sites? And this leads me to think, like, what if pornography wasn't free? What if you couldn't instantly go on a website and type in whatever you want in the search bar and it just pops up? What if you couldn't do that? Then what would you have done? What if there wasn't no magazines? What if there wasn't any tapes? Then what would you have done? You wouldn't have no choice but to retain until you find your wife. And that leads me to my other point. We have to see how this world is working, man. The higher powers that be, they know that a lot of men are operating in lust nowadays. This is why they make the pornography free. You know, at the snap of a finger, at the click of a button, you can be watching some type of model getting done out on over a phone. You know, the higher powers that be, they know this. They know a lot of men today are very weak. They know this. But if you're watching this channel, if you're watching this video right now, I want you to know that you're not a weak man. Comment down below, I am not a weak man. I am not a faint-hearted man. Right? Because only the strong survive over here, man. I'm trying to tell y'all. We have to hate the thought of going back to the sites. We have to hate it. You know, and when you think about the nitty-gritty of watching pornography, you really got to think about it like this. Why am I sitting here watching another man handle his business with a woman? Right? When you think about the actuality of what you're doing, it's actually very sick. It's actually very sick. You know, you're getting off to two people having intercourse. You're getting off to that. And I'm not trying to judge anybody. I'm not trying to bash anybody, because I was once there. I was once in a cycle releasing every single time. I was once there. I want to be a helping hand to those who are still struggling with the spirit of lust. And yes, I still struggle with lust, but I don't want to go back to the sites and release my seed, man. Because at this point, I hate the thought of me just knocking myself back. I would hate to do that. And above all things, I don't want to disappoint my Father who is in heaven. Right? Because I know too much at this point. I know that I shouldn't commit sexual immorality against my own body. I know this now. So it's like, why would I willfully do it? This is how you got to approach the situation when you feel like you're about to go to the sites. This is how deep it gets. You have to ask yourself every single time, is my Father who is in heaven going to appreciate what I'm doing? Not saying that he won't be willing to forgive you, right? But not because our Father is a forgiving Father means that gives you all the leeway to sin. And I feel like that's why a lot of you guys go back to the sites, because you're like, oh man, our Father, he's a very forgiving Father, so he's gonna forgive me. A lot of people use the Bible to kind of back up the actions that they're taking in their life. Yeah, we know that a righteous man falls 7 times. Yeah, we know that. But you don't want to be that person who's constantly falling, brothers. It comes to a point where you have to hate doing that type of thing. It comes to a point where you just had enough of going back to the sites. It has to come to a point where doing that is not even an option. It has to come to a point where you're committed to our Father in heaven. It has to come to a point where you're like, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to go back to the sites. I don't care how much thoughts of lust I get on my mind. I am not going back to the sites. Because believe it or not, I still get those thoughts to go back to the sites, but I don't act on it. There's a difference. I don't act on it. A lot of men, they'll act on that thought. Once you get that first lustful thought, then another one pops up, and then you become curious. You become curious, and then you're like, man, I wonder how this type of woman look, and then you get comfortable. You get comfortable, and then you start looking at maybe these Instagram models, and they start seducing you with their body. And at that point, you done already committed adultery with your eyes. Because you're thinking lustfully about this woman. So at that point, you're already deep. I want you guys to have enmity with the sites. Someone who's out to get you. Someone who wants your soul, right? That's how I want you guys to view the sites. Are you willingly going to give in to someone who's trying to kill you? Because that's basically what you're doing when you keep going back to the sites. The sites don't have your best interest, brothers, and that's a fact. Yeah, we know that you can get a quick one off just from watching your favorite P0rn. We know this. But the sites do not have your best interest. Why do you think it's free? I guarantee you, there's videos from years ago that's still on these sites. They don't feel the need to upgrade these videos. You know what I'm saying? They don't feel the need to at least upgrade the videos and take the old off and bring in the new. They don't even feel the need to do that, because they know it's destroying men. Men don't care how old the video is. As long as it's appealing to them, they're gonna watch it still. These actresses and actors are probably still making money because you're watching their video. I'm not sure how that industry works when it comes to getting paid and stuff, but I'm pretty sure the more you watch their videos, they're benefiting off of that in some way, shape, or form. They're benefiting off of you, man. And as a man of God, as a woman of God, our duty is to serve other people. It's not about us, right? So if we're giving these people free opportunity to make money off of us in a very evil way, in a way that God doesn't want us to go about making money, then what good is that? What good is that, right? You can't support that. You can't support wickedness. But instead, we have to expose the wickedness, man. We need more strong men out here. We need more strong men out here. I'm telling you, brothers, we need more strong men. And I know it's hard sometimes. I know it gets tempting. But at some point, you have to just draw the line. Are you going to follow God and not commit a sin against your own body? Or are you going to keep continuing the cycle of saying, oh, I'm gonna just relapse right now. God will forgive me. Oh, I'm gonna just relapse right now. I'm sure God knows the reason I did it. No, brothers. God knows what is in our hearts, right? He knows what is in our hearts. He created us. And honestly, if you know your word, if you know what the word says, there should be absolutely no reason why you feel the need to go back to the sites, man. I'm just keeping it a buck today. Before, when I wasn't in the word, before I got saved, me being on semen retention before, whenever I would get a lustful thought, I would feed into that thought because I didn't have anyone to hold me accountable. Now that I have Jesus Christ as my head, he's going to hold me accountable. I'm going to feel some type of conviction whenever I go back to the sites. So now I have a definite reason as to why I am not going back. And this is how I want you guys to look at it as well. It's not like we don't know what's going on a spiritual level, man. It's not like we don't know. We know the consequences of sin. The wages of sin is death. We know this. So it's like, why do we feel the need to go back to the sites, brothers? This is how we gotta look at it. Right? Think about a child being disciplined by their parents. A child needs a parent to hold them accountable for when they do wrong. It's not like you're in the new age and you're thinking you're your own God and you're thinking you hold all the keys to your afterlife. Right? It's not like that anymore, brothers. God is gonna hold us accountable for our actions. There's consequences to our actions, man. So listen, man, I just wanted you guys to hear this message. Stop going to the sites. I promise you, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. A quick fix is not worth it. I promise you. You'll feel a whole lot more better after you done dodged a urge. I'm telling y'all, man. But the moment you give into that urge, that's when you feel bad. And that's a fact. I don't care what nobody says. The moment you relapse, you don't feel like a man anymore. And that's just a fact. You feel helpless. You feel worthless. You feel like you don't have no definite purpose. You feel like you have no direction in life. We need to get away from going back to the sites. Right? If you say you're gonna stay off the site, be a man of your word and stay off the sites. There's literally no excuses at this point, man. No excuses. So listen, man, if you guys took anything valuable or learned something new today, make sure to drop a like. Comment down below your thoughts and opinions, man. Share this video with a friend because they will need it, man. Look, subscribe if you're not already subscribed. I'll catch you in the next one. And I'm out.